The audio audience has no idea what just happened, and that's fine.
That's why you got to watch that video, people. Subscribe and chat in the YouTube comments. Dwell there if you wish. And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm always great when, I don't know if it was Saturday or
Saturday
Sunday
evening.
Saturday
my friend.
evening, which I'm not sure. Like, normally we don't communicate a ton on Saturdays.
It's true.
You said I got the open, and I said I don't want to hear anything else about it. Let it rip. So, Jason Wilde, let it rip.
All right, before I start, I have a couple questions for you. I also want to wish our good friend John Kerry, retired from the Mac Fund, a happy birthday because
Indeed,
he is the father figure in my life that I am incredibly appreciative of, although he would have been embarrassed by me, as Paula would have been had she been along. But Madison Wilde was very supportive, and that's really the important thing, because she was the one person who was with me when I had a bit of a situation on Saturday night. Before I begin, I have two questions for you, Mark Tauscher. One, how often do you use your debit card?
Never.
Yeah, that's the answer I was hoping for. Jesse, how often do you use your debit card?
Not never, infrequently. I use my Associated Bank credit card primarily, but
right.
I do have
Me
the
too.
debit card available. I use the debit card a lot if I'm going to the ATM, if I want cash for any reason, going to a sporting event or the Hard Rock Casino or anything like that. That's the main purpose I use the debit card for, is to pull cash out of an ATM.
And I'm not wagering, and I'm not going anywhere where I need cash generally, so I'd never use it. And when I mean never, you'll understand in a second. Question 2, Tausch. How much do you love Coors Light?
A lot.
I love it a lot. That's how I feel about Bubbler. Like, Coors Light is your beverage, Bubbler is my beverage. And so on over the week, and I think it continues through the 4th of July, Woodman's, great partner on the Milwaukee Brewers radio network and 620 WTMJ. They also sell ice cream.
And I guess they also sell ice cream.
They actually sell a lot of ice cream. They have a whole aisle of it. Phil Woodman's been on the show. Would love to rekindle our partnership because Paula does all the grocery shopping generally. And Woodman's, as you may know, requires either cash or a debit card.
Just for the record, I don't know.
Okay, well, those who shop at Woodman's know. So they're having this great sale from our partners at Pepsi, where if you spend $30 on Pepsi products, of which Bubbler is one of them, it's a $10 coupon. And you know I love my coupons.
Wow.
You're a coupon guy.
I am a big coupon guy. Yes. Coupon or coupon? Anyway.
Whatever.
So
Heard it both ways.
you love it when I've got the open. Remember, keep telling yourself, I love it when he's got the open. I love it when he's got the open.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm waiting.
I can sense your skepticism. And I get it.
No, not at all.
No,
I'm not skeptical.
If this was a
yet.
new Netflix show, Becca already would have said, I'm out. Pick something else.
Gotta set
I'm not
the
going to lie to
stage.
you. You've went over about 6 pages of coupons at Woodman's that I don't necessarily want to, but I am still very engaged.
We're still taking off on the plane. A long way to go.
Now, if you start talking about their chips that they have on sale and other stuff, okay.
None of those things. So we go to stock up on Bubbler. Okay. Like some people have a beer fridge, I have a Bubbler fridge in the garage. So every $30 you spend, you get $10 off. So you basically have to buy 5 6-packs of Bubbler for every coupon you're going to use. So Maddie and I, we choose all the different flavors. I think that you'd have to check with Tier 1 Tyler, but I think we're up to 13 flavors.
A lot of flavors.
I have $115 in cash from a few big sales on Facebook Marketplace, including some hangers. So I'm ready.
All right.
We go to the checkout with our 25 bubblers. We start checking out. We scan our coupons. Lovely woman who was working at the self-check was helping us. I've brought my debit card in case $115 isn't enough. Total it all up, it's $115.17.
Okay.
And I joked to Maddie, it's going to be the smallest debit charge that Woodman's has ever had, 17 cents. So I put in my $20 bills and my $5 bills. 17 cents is the remaining balance. I put in my debit card, and it's declined.
Uh-oh.
I pull it out. I look at it. It's got that beautiful Associated Bank logo on it. Expired 5/25.
Ooh,
Oh,
tough one.
ooh, just missed it.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the issue. Our lease on our Nissan Sentra, and they don't sell ice cream at Boucher, but that's where I got it from, expired last week, so I got a new vehicle. I got a new Sentra. I have not reloaded all of the items that had been in my previous vehicle into it. So I
You don't
have
have any change.
I have no change in the car.
Yeah.
Not
tricky.
17 cents. You didn't even have sitting
I
around?
go back to the car. I bring my entire George Costanza wallet, and I am going through every card I have. We have a business debit card. We've got another old bank debit card. All of them fail because they're all expired because I never use debit cards. So now we're standing
But
at the checkout.
Luckily, you had 8 hangers in the back of your car, and you sold it in front of Woodman's. That's my early prediction. All right, continue.
Scalping hangers in the Woodman's parking lot.
He's selling hangers in front of Woodman's.
Hey, Cheryl, you want a hanger?
Here's the deal.
8 for a quarter. It's a steal.
If you spend $1 on hangers, we'll give you a pack of gum.
Spend $1 on hangers. We'll give you 83 cents back because all we need is 17 cents.
Oh,
so now we're stuck. And I brought up the coupon, which you may not have thought was germane, but here is also the other problem. If I put back one 6-pack of bubblers, it negates one of the $10 coupons. So I have to put back more than that. So there's no easy just put it back and pay.
Right.
So we are stranded at 17 cents owed to Woodman's. And the nice gal that's helping with self-checkout says, "You don't have 17 cents?" No, I don't.
Fair question.
What are we? Maddie, always trying to be helpful, says, "Well, I can walk around the store, see if there's any loose change laying on the ground."
Smart.
Another good idea.
That is an option.
Another thought was, okay, we're going to have to go panhandle out in front of Woodman's for 17 cents.
Sure.
My question before I tell you the hero of the story is this. Other than your brilliant idea of selling hangers, which I remind you I don't have with me because nothing is in the car.
Oh, because you got the new car. Yeah.
What would you have done? Like the $115 is already in the machine.
I think the way you do it is you just ask the checkout person, "Can I come?" Because you're not far. It's not like you're in Green Bay.
It's true.
So just say, "Can I come back? I'll give you $5. I'll bring back whatever to pay for it.
My 17
Or can you
cents.
lend me this and I will come back?" I think that is probably the right play. That's a tough look when you only got you're missing 17 cents though. It's one thing if it's like $15. You don't have one credit card in your wallet that
You
can
can't
pay
use a
with?
credit card. It's only debit cards. And because I never
forgot
use
about
my
that.
debit cards, I didn't even realize they were all expired. It's also Saturday night. There are no other customers checking out in the self-checkout area.
Sure. Yeah.
So as I'm staring...
It's a shame it's not like those gas stations where you have the little grab pennies, and you could have just started collecting pennies.
I'm going to take 17 of them, which I think would be IPT. So I'm standing there staring at the 17 cents still owed message on the screen. And I'm starting to get an anxiety attack. And suddenly, I don't see this person coming. They put their hand on my shoulder and they say, "Is there a problem, Mr. Wilde?" And I turn and look.
It's Phil Woodman.
No, close. Every time we shop at Woodman's and I'm along, I see Brad, who is part of their leadership team, who is a huge fan of the show. Like, put this right up next to the jury box with Jesse. I said, yeah, I put in my cash and I'm 17 cents short on our bubblers. Brad reaches into his pocket, pulls out a quarter, drops it into the checkout machine. We're paid up. I hand him back his 8 cents, and I tell him, "Thank you for your service." And this will be the topic to start Monday's show. A lifesaver. So, Brad. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I have to figure out something nice to do for him as a thank you. So I don't know what else.
Well, let me ask you this:
my options were.
Does he like Hansel? Does he like Hansel and Gretel? Because to me, you go get him that poster of Hansel and Gretel, everybody's going to be pretty happy.
So we emerged with our bubblers. We stocked this fridge when we got home, and there was a happy ending to our story. But 17 cents. I tell Paula this, and she says, and I quote, "I would have left you there." Which I get it. I don't blame her.
No.
Yeah, she would have walked out.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Not nice, but fair.
Why would she have walked
Tough,
out?
but fair. I assume she would have at least gone to find 17 cents or do something,
Sure.
But maybe not. Maybe she just would have abandoned me because I was so embarrassing. So all's well that ends well.
You get a new debit card?
Well, it turns out that the good people at Associated Bank had sent it months ago.
I was going to say, I think they just, send them to you, and you just got to activate
I thought it's
them.
auto-renewed.
Yeah.
Again, I believe it is active. I believe it was just somewhere on a stack of mail in the kitchen and not in my wallet. So thank you to Brad. Thank you to Maddie for not being overly embarrassed by me. And thank you, Associated Bank, for sending me my ATM card on a timely fashion. That's on me. It's not on the team at Associated Bank.
That's on me.
So that's how my weekend went. How was yours?
I could have sworn you were going to say Mike McCarthy was the one who came up to you in the
So
line.
I think he's back in town. I got to go find him. I got to go check in with him.
He did leave that opening. That was a very well done story, the way you paused. That was well delivered. Now, we don't know Brad. I mean, I don't know if Jesse does.
Jordan Love could have come up and said, "Hey."
Well, Jordan Love was busy getting married, so I knew it wasn't him.
Busy weekend, yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. That was why.
Did they let you Venmo? Could you have Venmo?
See, that's and again, that's my thing, right? Like, we have Venmo, PayPal, we got all these different ways to pay. But if your debit card, like in my case, is expired, or all of them are, what other option do you have? They don't take Venmo at the grocery store. So
but you could have Venmo'd the person $1 and they give you $1 and it would have, you know what I mean?
Well, luckily Brad stepped in. I could have used that advice if Brad had not been there, but not all heroes wear capes.
Way to go, Brad.
So
yeah, I think Brad is early leader for Feel Good Friday this week. Even though we don't have a show Friday. If we did, he'd be the leader.
Well, it's a good thing we Feel Good Monday, delivered by Brad and painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. All right. How are the Killers? I'm dying to know.
Are we doing that right now?
See what I did there?
The Killers and dying? That's not bad.
Thanks.
Let me tell you something. I've been to, I don't know how many of their shows now, and it's better every time I go. My voice is a little raspy because I think almost every song I was jamming out to. It was hot, but it is, if you can go and you like their music at all, go. It was a fantastic show. It wasn't great that I had an 8 a.m. game back Saturday morning for our tournament, but everything else was fantastic. We had a great group, and we killed it. It was a fantastic set. I could not have been happier with the Killers.
Did you catch Chasen Mason on one of the side stages on your way in, or did you miss out on Mike Cotter's band?
No, I think we caught a little bit. It was called Cold War Kids, I think was the name of the opener. And they had a song that I actually knew. So that was good. But
they covered Sabrina Carpenter?
No, Sabrina. I don't think she wasn't there, I don't believe. But the nice thing is, and I think there's I'm not going to give out advertising. There's another stage right next to the amphitheater, and you could listen. And actually, you got done. Killers ended about 11:30. There still was another half hour of music jamming right next to it. Summerfest has done a fantastic job of making it. It used to be, and this was years ago, it felt really congested and blah. Like you felt like you were. Now it feels like there's a better flow. And you don't have, there's obviously still huge crowds, but it was beautiful, Jason. To answer your question, we missed you. It's a bummer that you and Paula were doing bubbler runs instead, but it was good.
If only we had been invited. I invite you to replace your Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, or replace your windows with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, which, by the way, to top off my weekend, I was flipping through channels last night. There's a show called Project Pitch It. I don't know if you're familiar with this program. It's like Shark Tank, but it's a local one.
Okay.
On the panel, Steven Gruber, son of David Gruber. Okay. Grubeloff's is One Call, That's All. And Gina Della, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, who I learned was a high-level competitive figure skater in her youth. As she was discussing it. Swear to Pella.
Gina Della was a figure skater?
There was a product that a young person was, it's like an app for recovery from injuries for young athletes, and Gina mentioned her figure skating career. So that's how I ended my weekend, learning that tidbit about Gina Della.
What was the name of that movie where the figure skater
Cutting Edge
in love with the hockey player? What a great one of the. I'm not going to get hyperbolic, but it's a top 5 It's not a rom-com. Just like a romantic
sports movie.
Oh no! I just think the whole concept of it, awesome. And you're telling me Gina is in the likes of like Christina Yamaguchi and Michelle Kwan? I'm trying to think of other figure skaters. Who else do we got? Who are the GOATs figure skaters
Tara
for
and
us?
Johnny. They're the ones that do all the announcing now.
Tanya Harding.
Oh, Nancy Kerrigan, too. Yeah, I forgot about her.
Sure.
Never going to forget about Pella Windows and Doors. And the time is now. It is the 30th of June. Time to upgrade your windows and doors, but you don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella's the best in the industry, and it has a product line for every budget. Right now, today, last day, get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? Get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years later. This deal ends today, June 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We'll get to Jesse's weekend a little bit later in the show because we've got some fun audio to recap his evening at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. But next, I do want to touch on Bobby Portis's return, because we had our Bucks buddy Justin Garcia on the show. We've been talking about the Bucks finances and how they're going to keep pieces together to keep their star player happy. I have to think this one is going to help with that process. We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 1st.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the New York Mets.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in July 1st at 6:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll get to Jesse's weekend, which he spent in part with his parents and Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw and Jesse's parents walk into a casino. We'll hear more coming up. Tausch, Bobby Portis, 3 years, $44 million. We're going to get into this a little bit further in the 10 o'clock hour. But the breaking news over the weekend, he declined his player option and then got a new deal. I know there are some opinions on this, but for me, as our Bucks buddy had said, he's going to probably start now, potentially. And he is someone that obviously Giannis enjoys playing with. What did you think when you saw this news come across your desk?
Well, I think it's obviously for all of us that want Giannis to stay, I think that's a positive. As far as, is that going to move the needle forward for us winning another championship? I think Bobby Portis is an energy guy. I think he's somebody that is a role player, but it just feels like if you're banking on him being one, if, like you just mentioned, if he's going to be a starter, I like him more as a bench spark guy compared to a starter. I'm counting and banking on him for a certain amount of production. So he's getting older. I think it is a position where when you can retain your own guys, I think that helps out with the bird rights. And I'm not an expert on that, but Bobby Portis, I think, has proven that he brings a value to this team. He's a good player. He's somebody that I think you can count on for some spurts. He can score it, but I'm not sure on the defensive end if that's going to be. I like it, but I don't love it. I guess if that makes any sense. I think it's the right play, but I don't love it as far as us as Bucks fans looking at this and saying, this is going to be a move that puts us over the top. If this helps keep Giannis content and happy, then I'm even happier with it than maybe even Bobby. Probably not, though.
Probably not, though. We'll hear from a few of your fellow ESPN NBA experts during the 10 o'clock hour on this. Jesse, before we get to your time at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford with Terry Bradshaw and your ma and pa, you said that you were getting some texts on the Carbless Talkin' text line for alternatives to Brad and his quarter. I'm curious, who else would have nothing against Brad, who, again, saved the day. But I heard you guess Mike McCarthy. Jordan Love was obviously getting married. He was unavailable. Yeah. Did we have Tanya Harding? Who else did we have?
So I would give
helping out.
You don't say you want the Open very much. I would grade your Open about a 9 out of 10. I think the only thing missing, kind of like a Super Bowl commercial, the only thing missing was a celebrity cameo to finish it off. So multiple texters, including Tucker in Wausau. The only other person that would have been better to lend Jason a quarter would have been Chipotle Ben Sims.
That would have been a capper, yeah.
And Tucker is not the only person who has texted in saying Chipotle Ben would have been the perfect Packers cameo appearance to lend you a quarter for your 17 cents.
Yes, it would have. I do like Chipotle Ben, and he does, I believe, have a role on this team as the third tight end. Just like Tausch has a role right now of telling us about his love of Coors Light as I express my love of Bubbler.
Yeah, a few Coors Lights over the weekend at a couple of concerts, and whether you're tailgating for a concert or pregame, enjoying your experience during the game, or celebrating a big win after the game, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
I'm sorry. A couple of concerts?
Yeah, we were at Morgan Wallen last night.
You went Killers, Morgan Wallen in like a 72-hour window?
Yeah, it was it's been the old
surprised you could even talk.
I'm amazed that I'm answering the bell today.
No way
now,
I would have worked today if I was you.
In fairness,
we know that.
I don't know a lot of Morgan Wallen's songs. This was more of a. This wasn't. Killers was for me. Let's just put it that way.
Well
Morgan
said.
Wallen for others. Yeah.
Well said. So you went to the Killers and Morgan Wallen. Jesse went to Hard Rock Casino Rockford for Terry Bradshaw. And I had Brad and my bubblers
17 cents short
at Woodman's. We will hear about Jesse's weekend and his interactions with Terry Bradshaw, which is this. You have a. Did you hear this? Is this like bootleg audio from his show?
Or was it an exclusive Jesse Nelson special backstage?
Well, no, it says Terry Bradshaw answers a fan question.
Well, that would be a giveaway that it is not an exclusive then. Yeah.
We'll hear it all next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Dick's epic 4th of July sale is on. Get summer ready with 25% off select Stanley drinkware. Get 20% off Igloo coolers and water bottles and select bog bags. Buy one, get one 50% off DSG coolers, canopies, chairs, and water bottles. $200 off Callaway AI smoke irons and TaylorMade QI10 drivers. These deals won't last. Stock up for summer now, in-store or online at Dicks.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I'm the man, come around and nothing can break. You can't break me down. I got gas in the tank, I got money in the bank. I got news for you, baby, you're looking at the man.
That is the Killers. That is also the original opening theme song of Wilde and Tausch. A little bit of trivia for you there. Nicely done, Jesse.
Is that right?
It is. Indeed. Jesse, was Terry Bradshaw the man?
Terry Bradshaw was wildly entertaining at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night. I will say that. Wildly entertaining.
Wow.
Whatever, like, I wasn't exactly sure what the Terry Bradshaw show experience was going to be.
Neither was Terry.
It was really fun. My mom and dad and I had a great time. Great crowd on hand on a Sunday night. And by the time we got going, it was like 7:45 or so when he took the stage. So it was a little bit later on a Sunday night. Storms were kind of impacted a little travel with all the other options for people to go to. There was a great crowd on hand at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night for the Terry Bradshaw show. He went for about an hour and a half. It was music. He sang classic country music songs, which surprisingly great singing voice. Like, it was really good.
Terry Bradshaw.
He was good. He was a good singer. Yes, and he had live band on stage. Great saxophone player. Great keyboard player. Like, band was fantastic. He did a little comedy. Like, kind of did like a stand up interacting with some of the fans. Answered questions in a Q&A format. Played some of the clips from his best stuff from the NFL on Fox, and then from some of the movies and TV shows he's been in over the years. It was a true, like, no one else could do the show the way Terry Bradshaw did the show. It was a one-of-a-kind experience, and I would recommend it for football fans if you ever have a chance to go see it again. It was really fun.
What are Terry Bradshaw's greatest country western hits?
He has a few, like, he sang some covers, of course. I think he led with, like, 3 Hank Williams songs, which was a good, like, it kind of gets you warmed up out of the gates. But he had 1 or 2 originals, because he shared a story that he lost a wager to a friend of his that said he couldn't get a label for an album. So he called a buddy in Nashville and said, "Can you get me 8 songs on an album?" And he won $100 that way by going to Nashville and recording an album. And so he had 8 originals, and one of them he sang last night. It was, again, no one else could do the show the way he did. Like, if you're going to put a show title out called The Terry Bradshaw, you better be an interesting person and live an interesting life, and he certainly has done that.
All right, and what was your parents' review before we get to your bootleg audio?
They enjoyed it. They were grateful that we were able to go and spend some time together. They really enjoyed it. They've been fans of Terry Bradshaw for a long time, as many people. And there were a lot of fans. That my parents were not 2 of the fans who had Pittsburgh Steelers Terry Bradshaw jerseys that had shown up. There was some like custom merchandise people. There are some diehard fans of Terry Bradshaw that are out there. So
did you wear your Favre Vikings jersey?
I did not. I did wear a Packers shirt. I thought there would be more Packers fans in attendance than
were you
there
underdressed like me at a Steinhoffel's opening?
No. I was not as well dressed as many of the people who were there, but for what the format of the show was, I was not underdressed. How about that? I wore a Packers shirt and pretty casual, and it was I fit right in. It was good.
All right. Well, did you?
Well,
during those
what other questions do you have about the Terry Bradshaw
What
show?
was the best Bradshaw joke that you laughed out loud, like you spit?
Yeah, were you taking notes so you wouldn't forget any of this?
No, I wasn't, and I probably should have. There were many laugh out loud moments in his routine that he was doing. He loved playing up like how they were on a world tour and they had sold out venues in Europe. It was just like gimmicky kind of stuff like that. But it was funny how he kept it going throughout the course of the entire show.
No. What was the joke? What is his best joke?
19,000 strong here at the Hard Rock Casino tonight. And we looked around. There was it was like 1,000 people made a bet in the venue. It's not a massive venue that we were in. So that was like the recurring joke. Wow, all 19,000.
No, Jesse. What? No. What was the best joke that he told?
Okay, so he didn't do like a stand. He didn't tell jokes.
Oh, I thought you said he did stand up.
No, when you're a comedian, it's not like you have a joke. Like, what's your favorite joke? Your favorite comedian has told. Like, it's more just you're
Ovaltine. Why is it called Ovaltine? The jug's round. It's not an oval.
I'm not sure that
hard.
joke ever gets done on stage though in Seinfeld, does it? Certainly not by Jerry.
I didn't check out Kenny Banya.
Yeah.
Kenny Banya's spinoff never came out, Jason.
Yeah, it was surprising that he didn't get one since Joey did from Friends.
That's
all right,
true.
Jesse.
Probably would have had about the same.
All right, I just want to. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna push trivia a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
I want to make sure you know how on like the NFL Network or on NFL games or I'm sure during Brewers broadcasts with Levering and the crew they say. This game may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or any other use of this game without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers is strictly prohibited.
I thought about adding one of those for our show. Sometimes people grab clips from our show and use them elsewhere.
They do.
Express written consent.
Was there any such announcement at the Terry Bradshaw program?
I didn't see one.
So there must not have been. Is what you're going.
Yep.
All right. Fair. So we will hear from Terry Bradshaw after we hear from Tausch telling us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford and all the great shows that they have there, not including Chris Rock, who is not scheduled to appear, but Kevin Hart is.
After he found out there was 19,000 people to see Terry Bradshaw, you never know. The new Hard Rock Casino Rockford features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. You can go see a Terry Bradshaw sing and do stand-up comedy and take questions. And what else? And not tell any jokes. What else did he do, Jesse?
He was funny. He didn't have knock-knock jokes. He was funny. He's Terry Bradshaw.
I'm sorry to ask you to just give one small example of a Bradshaw.
Lynn Swan, Jack Ham, and Jack Lambert walk into a pizza joint.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Oh, Terry.
Well, speaking of chicken joints, Jesse, give me the review on the UU Noodle Bar. You know, they got all kinds of diverse dining options at Hard Rock. They got Council Oak Steaks and seafood, bricked Italian, and I have been waiting. Jesse, how was the UU Noodle Bar?
We didn't go to the new UU Noodle Bar.
All right.
Yeah.
They also have street tacos.
Too busy telling jokes.
And all kinds of other great stuff. The Hard Rock Live Entertainment Venue, 23,000 square feet, premium concert and event space. It features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens to enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Jesse went last night. It's less than an hour from Madison, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
I will say this about the UU Noodle Bar. We did not eat there because we went to the Hard Rock Cafe and sat down because we were a little pinched for time. But I will say at roughly 10 p.m. we were getting ready to get out of there. Full house in the UU Noodle Bar still. It's open till midnight. That is a popular place. So we should get down there and try it for ourselves. I would have liked to last night. My parents kind of felt differently, so we went to the Hard Rock Cafe instead. But we will get to the UU Noodle Bar. That did help, yeah.
Who makes the call on that? Is that George or
democracy?
Is that
Oh, yeah, Usher George will usually say, I got this one. All right, cool. Thanks, Pa.
No, not about paying, but who goes
Where to eat?
Where are you going to eat?
Oh, that's my mom. She's very picky.
I can see that.
Yeah, she's very. She likes to read the menu extensively, and let's go to this one. Yeah.
Does she make her own like side orders too? Like if it's a Reuben sandwich, but I want turkey instead of corned beef. Does your mom handle things like that?
Yeah.
No substitutions at the UU Noodle Bar?
She'll usually ask them. She'll grill the wait staff for no apparent reason sometimes, just to kind of see if they can provide some information on a dish she's not even going to order. That does happen on a regular basis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have some breaking news. We will get to that. And the Terry Bradshaw bootleg tapes recorded on, I presume, Jesse's iPhone.
I heard there's some real zingers in this stand-up.
We'll hear it all next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman here. It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July Sale Spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. And with free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, we make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess. Just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
One call, that's all.
It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You know, it's funny. You Google Terry Bradshaw jokes. There's a bunch of them.
They're all over the place. Yeah.
Also, you get Terry Bradshaw rips Aaron Rodgers and calls Steelers a joke for considering the quarterback. So you get kind of both a balance there.
So, Jason, I would hope that a esteemed producer of a wildly popular sports show
It is wildly popular.
When given the opportunity to ask a pertinent question in an area that is going to be interested, I would think probably ask Terry Bradshaw something last night, right? To get some insight into why does he not like Rodgers? Why is that? Like, that would be really good job. That would be, some would say, production value.
Journalism, some might even call it.
So I'm assuming that happened last night. That's what I'm excited to hear this.
We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and listen to the Did You Hear This? The Terry Bradshaw edition. Quick two pieces of news. One from the National Football League. The Steelers traded their three-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey, so there's been some changes there in addition to the quarterback for Terry Bradshaw's former team.
They got rid of Fitzpatrick? They got rid of Minkah?
That's what I'm saying. That makes that story a lot different than it was initially. Yeah. Initially, it was just that they traded for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Now, Adam Schefter updating that, including the piece of information that I think is kind of big, that they are sending Minkah Fitzpatrick back to the Dolphins. That's one. Two.
That has to be a money thing, right? That he wanted a big new deal and the Steelers didn't want to do it.
I'm guessing that would be the case. And then two, Brad from Woodman's wife Ashley is in the YouTube comments, and she enjoyed the story. So even though Chipotle Ben was not there to save the day, Brad was, and we appreciate them tuning in.
Welcome in, Ashley.
Now,
which one is she in? Is she in the Milwaukee or Madison?
No, she's in Madison. That's where all the cool kids hang out.
And that's the friendlier of the two?
Friendlier, a little less edge. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Time now.
I'm really bummed that for whatever reason my subscription doesn't allow me to partake. I'd love to jump in the Milwaukee one if I could figure out the subscription and how that all works.
I would, if you would be so kind as to bring some sort of a electronic device that has your Gmail or your Google sign-in on it, I would be happy to help you and troubleshoot that.
Yeah,
for
I
you
think
so
we'll do that. We have a couple more stops on our road summer tour, and we'll try to get that worked out next time we meet.
I look forward to it. Time now for Did You Hear This? The Terry Bradshaw Bootleg Edition.
Consider it the radio version of a conversation at the water cooler. It's time for Did You Hear This? On Wilde Tausch.
So part of the Terry Bradshaw show at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford is opening up for a Q&A with fans to ask questions. So one of the members of the band walks around with a microphone and goes around, and people raise their hand, and he comes over, and you get to ask Terry a question. So...
Wait a minute. Did you ask one? Because Tausch is getting after you, and if you need to defend yourself.
No way he didn't.
Right from the jump here before we hear from other fans.
For sure he did.
I did not ask a question.
Did you put your hand up and you just didn't get called on?
Must have.
I put my hand up, and it was too late at that point. They had kind of moved. Most of the questions we were so it's a large auditorium that we were in.
19,000 people.
Yeah.
19,000 people.
They were heavily concentrated with the questions on the far right side. We were on the left side, so they did a real quick comb through on the left side, went right up, and that was the end of it. I was hoping to catch them on the return. It kind of
should have raised your hand sooner.
Snuck through, yeah. So I had the recorder out. I was ready to go. I did have a question in mind that I would have asked them. It was kind of covered in the other questions, though, here. So this was a question. You're going to hear the voice of the fan asking this question about Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. And Terry Bradshaw, he didn't elaborate too much on this, but it does bring up, I think, an interesting conversation point. So here is that exchange.
I like your quarterback.
Well, that was the question.
Okay, there.
Favre leading to Rodgers, now at Love. What do you think about that? How that whole situation? What do you think, Love?
Well, how good is the team going to be? That's how good he's quality.
Yeah.
So if the team's built around him, it's like Pittsburgh. Built around the quarterback, giving receivers an offensive line. Kenny Pickett would still be in Pittsburgh, and he'd still be the starter. Right. Yeah. All right? But they didn't coach him up. They didn't give him players, and his ass is in Cleveland.
So he says when talking about Jordan Love...
His what is in Cleveland?
His behind is in Cleveland.
That's what I thought he said.
Yep. Good joke, wouldn't you say? It's more about the team around Jordan Love than it is about Jordan Love. Kind of stems to a conversation we had a couple of weeks ago when assessing Jordan Love's development, don't you think?
You can win with him, but do you win because of him? Mm-hmm. I remember that conversation.
All right, well... Terry Bradshaw's delusional. What is his deal with Kenny Pickett?
He loves him some Kenny Pickett now.
Terry, Kenny Pickett, he's had opportunities. He was in your town with Mike Tomlin and a really good defense. Yes, quarterback play is about how good your team is, but quarterbacks elevate their teams. So this whole Kenny Pickett would be great if this happened and this. No. Now, we'll see. Maybe he'll end up taking the spot in Cleveland and he'll go win a championship. And then I'm going to call Terry and say I was wrong. But I don't understand his obsession with Kenny Pickett. I don't get it.
Excuse me. Apparently, there's still more to this Steelers-Dolphins trade. The Dolphins are also sending tight end Jonnu Smith to the Steelers for a late-round pick. Are these all separate transactions, or are we just getting tidbits of the trade?
What is going on?
I've never seen anything like this.
Then you're going to say, is T.J. Watt ending up going to be included in this by the time this thing's done? And then Rodgers and Tua are going to switch?
Rodgers for Tua, exactly.
Did you hear this?
So it was in Rockford, Illinois. There was a good Packers contingency, but it was primarily Chicago Bears fans. So here's what Terry Bradshaw had to say when asked about the hometown Chicago Bears.
Well, first of all, I love the Bears. I love your quarterback, Williams. I love Johnson. The best thing that's happened to you, man, you have got a new head coach here in Chicago now. You are going to love watching the Bears play this year. And you'll recognize where they got to fix it. But he'll fix it. This guy's good.
Loves Ben Johnson in Chicago. We were ranking the head coaches last week. Sounds like Terry Bradshaw would put Ben Johnson ahead of Matt LaFleur just based on that commentary.
I don't know about that, but I want to make sure that we hold that audio. And when the Bears still can't protect the quarterback, and this season unwinds feels like every 4 out of 5 seasons for the Bears the last 2 decades does. Let's revisit this audio. Ben Johnson, we don't know. We know he is a creative play caller, and he's got a good football mind. Nobody has any clue how he's going to be as a head coach. Nobody.
It's true. That is fair.
His little deal with Matt LaFleur that he doesn't even barely know, that's a red flag to me. That's awkward. Weird. Don't get it.
Somebody said
doesn't mean he ain't going to be a good coach. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good coach. That would have been another good one, Jesse, like the Ben Johnson. That was a funny punchline. I don't know. Terry doesn't know. But what we do know is the Bears win every offseason. The last decade, I feel like everybody is always raving about what the Bears are going to do. And maybe one of these years somebody's going to be right, but they have not been right for a while.
Did you hear this?
All right, last one. And if
you look distracted over there, big fella.
He's just reading about the Dolphins trade.
I thought there'd be some Ben Johnson follow-up, and you're kind of looks like you got something on your mind over there.
I'm trying to see who else is being traded here to keep you updated.
Oh,
on the Steelers-Dolphins trade.
Well, we're going to keep doing
Michael Klink thinks I don't know what I'm talking about. Not great for his Hall of Fame.
What do you mean?
Did you get got by a fake account?
No, I did. These are. I don't do that sort of.
Adam Schnefter. I always fall for the Schnefter.
Yeah, you followed for it.
Schnefter stuff.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and he complained about the length of the 17 cent story too.
Wasn't Minka a Dolphin in the beginning of his career?
He was. It's a reunion.
Traded a first-round pick or two to get him. Let me tell you this. I don't think you should ever, if it's not a quarterback, you should never give up 2 first-round picks for a player that you're going to have to pay in year 4 and 5. I don't think that has that ever worked out for the team that is acquiring that player. Khalil Mack, when the Raiders traded him, and you had to give up 2 firsts and whatever they gave up and paid him bonko dollars. Does that ever work for the team that's doing the acquiring?
No, not usually.
It feels like you're one piece away.
But you're never one piece away.
Well, you can be one piece away if it's like a fragmented Odell Beckham Jr. where you can get something on a discount in the middle of the season. But when you're building and you're saying, I'm going to go get this guy, but I got to give up. That's why when we always go through these trade opportunities with Goody, well, you're going to do this. They're going to get Myles Garrett. They're going to do this. You can do one or the other. You can't do both. You can't give up picks and pay top dollar. If you're going to pick and choose, you'll pay top dollar, Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, but you can't give up collateral damage of giving up 2 things, because then that weakens you, and then you end up losing picks, and then it becomes a snowball that just rolls on you, and the next thing you know, you're buried in snow.
For those of you that are curious, before we finish up here with Terry Bradshaw, the Steelers have now added today Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. The Dolphins are getting Minka Fitzpatrick and a late-round draft pick. So there is your trade that doesn't involve the Packers, but is interesting the way the news came out, and that's why we've been following it as closely as we have. I believe they're done now. Jesse, you'll be done after you play one more clip.
This?
So if I was able to ask a question of Terry Bradshaw, it would have been about Aaron Rodgers joining the Steelers. Somebody else did ask that question. And one of the running jokes that Terry Bradshaw had throughout the evening was that...
This is going to be good. Hold up. Hold up.
So his agent, Ira, was at the show for the very first time last night. And from that, I will let Terry take it from here, answering a question about Aaron Rodgers.
And we got Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying anything. My agent's here. Ira, where you at, Ira? Ira's brother. I see you over here. He's deafening. I'm not going to say a word, bro. I swear. Not a word. I will not. Every time I do these shows, every week, I'm quoted in the papers all the way to New York. Not going to happen today. No. I'm good, bud. Solid right here. Aaron Rodgers, love him.
So that's what he had to say about Aaron Rodgers. Nothing in particular. So,
well, when you call it a joke before it happens, it makes it hard to then make a joke.
Yeah.
But he kind of did. It was funny that he wouldn't say anything.
That's why he's a great performer. Like Jesse said, nobody could do it. Ira, that is another name that you just don't hear. How many kids in school, of your kids' school, does anybody have an Ira?
Not to my knowledge.
IRA. No. It is a name that doesn't seem to be
you can trust
being passed along.
Nice.
No, it's true. It's like Ruth and Marky.
Kinda.
Or Terry.
Why do you think? Why does Bradshaw
anymore.
hate Raj? Why do you think Bradshaw hates him so much?
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I think he thinks he's weird.
Thinks he's going to take his job like you want him to on Fox?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, Bradshaw, he needs to just go on the road and keep doing this. It sounds like he is really, he's found his niche.
Thriving in this, yeah?
He has indeed. All right, anything else that we have not covered from Terry Bradshaw that you'd like to add, Jesse, before we move on from...
Doesn't it feel like if you go to Terry Bradshaw on a Sunday night, doesn't it feel like you have to have a Salisbury steak with some mashed potatoes? And that's got to be the meal when you go to that, right?
What?
I'm just like, if I'm stereotyping,
why?
Because if I'm saying you're going to an early matinee of Terry Bradshaw,
It was
you gotta have
It was 7:30 at night. What do you mean it's matinee?
I feel like if you're going to see Bradshaw, you're having mashed potatoes with a Salisbury steak. That's what it feels like to me. You know, the meal's set up for what you're going to go do. I think that's one of those where you sit down with some carrots and a little nice pile of mashed potatoes with some gravy and a Salisbury steak flopped on there. That's what a Terry Bradshaw meal would be. That's his pregame meal.
Do you say this for other acts? Like, you went to go see the Killers on Friday. What's the meal you affiliate with the Killers?
Oh, the Killers, it's kebab. It would be a kebab and like something fresh, like a...
So you have thought about this.
The mozzarella, what's that
Food
mozzarella salad? The caprese. It feels like a caprese and a kebab deal to me, the Killers.
You got Morgan Wallen? Yeah, Morgan Wallen last night.
Wallen. Big old bowl of chili. Like, that's a chili show. You get a big old bowl of chili.
No further questions.
Just to be clear, you didn't eat at any of these shows that you went to.
Yesterday at Morgan Wallen, we did not, no. Oh, no, we ended up getting pizza. It was more of a pizza show last night.
Thought it was a
That's what we
chili
could
show.
pull off. Huh?
I thought you just
No,
said it's a
if I was
chili
setting
show.
up and planning, it would be a big old crock pot of chili.
For each roll at Camp Randall. All right, let's move on. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour by discussing Bobby
Wilde
Portis.
Tausch, I think, is a sausage and egg burrito show. I want to have a cup of coffee and a sausage and egg burrito.
No.
That's what I'd want. That's what I'd want.
We're a quick trip chicken show.
We're that bang
But
bang shrimp
at
from
9
Buck
a.m.
and Honey's show.
The what?
The bang bang
the
like
shrimp.
dynamite shrimp that they had at
Firecracker, it's called.
That's what it's called. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, can we move on now?
Sure.
I kind of like the food game, honestly.
It's kind of a fun little theme. It's kind of fun.
What's Kyle Bruston Nortman?
I almost am thinking, like, every time we're having a guest, like, what meal would you serve? When Evan Cohen is coming on, what are we serving?
Got to be a little spicy.
Matt LePay, when he comes on, what are we serving? Like, I think that could be a fun little new shtick.
Chicken soup.
What?
LePay's like chicken soup. It's like smooth and comfortable. And like, oh, yeah. This is good.
Okay, now this has just gotten weird. 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it.
It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Hey, ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch, which we were like on the cusp of getting to somewhat on time, and then we started to play Match That Concert or Show with a meal, dinner and a show with Mark Tauscher.
What's the Homer hour?
Pastrami sandwich.
No, it's not.
Pastrami sandwich.
No.
All right, what is it?
I don't know. It's the gruel that they serve in those retirement communities.
Oh, come on.
I think with Bulaga, it's going to be oranges and
donkey
I have to
meat.
Think a little bit more about it. No, we're not eating donkey. No,
okay, just want to make sure. I don't know where to go from here. I'm just going to be honest. Did you want to keep doing
I'll go
the
from here with
shows?
This. So with all of this stuff that Pittsburgh is doing, and I believe right now when you're looking at it from a Packers perspective, does that make you jealous that they make a big, bold move like that where you're bringing in a corner that is renowned? You had a corner that was renowned that you wouldn't pay anything really close to that. They're paying him $26 million, I believe, is what Jalen Ramsey is owed. Jair Alexander was going to be what? It ended up being $6 million all in for a year.
Correct. If it's only 4, and he can earn the other 2.
Do we feel like the Packers were looking a little short-sighted and not giving themselves an opportunity to keep potentially a good player because of his injury? We've played this out, and I know the Jair story is we're moving along. Why I think it's interesting is, do we think that sometimes you get caught up in that, and are we going to be good enough on that side, in that position group, when you're seeing other teams making big, bold moves? Normally I would say, oh boy. But I don't feel that way about Jalen Ramsey. I wouldn't have wanted Jalen Ramsey. I would not have. I would have never. If Brian Gutekunst would have made this same move this morning, I would have said, "Who's running the show up in Green Bay?"
He's also 30 years old.
This is not something Brian Gutekunst would ever do, unless it would have been Jair Alexander for him, and then he wouldn't have, because the money wouldn't match up. This is a great example. I think this tells me that the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is either going to be the boom of all booms, or unfortunately, if you're Terry Bradshaw and his fans down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford last night, I think this is probably telling you we're going to be, this is it. we're putting everything in, and if this doesn't work this year, we're resetting the whole thing. Because they won't have a quarterback. Lord knows what they're going to do with T.J. Watt. This, to me, is let's see what we got, and if this doesn't work, we're stripping this bad boy down to the studs and going to rebuild. That's what that tells me.
Mm-hmm. So, so you're saying this move, does it make you reconsider your position on what they did with Jair Alexander?
It does not. I'm saying it tells me the way you have two iconic franchises and how they're dealing with things. And it shows you when you don't feel like you have the quarterback spot figured out, it just changes your whole dynamic on how you approach building your roster. When you feel like that spot is solidified and in a good place, you allow yourself the opportunity for guys to grow. When you don't, you feel rushed, you feel hurried, and you feel like you got to go now because any semblance of a window is slammed. It's not going to go. And I think it's a great picture of when you don't get the quarterback spot and you don't have it figured out for any semblance of a long-term period of time. This shows you the dichotomy of what it looks like when you're building a roster out. Now, if Pittsburgh goes and wins a championship, we could look back at it and say, what the heck were we thinking not keeping Jair and bringing in some veterans? But in a league that keeps getting younger and less expensive for these players, that seems to be the model that I like, and that's why I like how Goody approaches things.
All right, last thing, though, on this, and then we'll play trivia. So you're saying that the Packers have the quarterback position figured out. I would agree. Long term, Jordan Love's the guy. We're just the question is, he's good. How good is he? Do they have the cornerback position figured out, though? Like, I still feel, there's part of me that feels like these are not mutually exclusive. And when Jair's dad goes on KBN and says he would have been in Green Bay for the exact same contract, which again seems like a pretty good discounted rate for a guy who's been hurt. $4 million? It doesn't seem like that expensive of an insurance policy.
How much cap space do we got?
I think because they took on all of Jair's cap hit, which obviously would not be a factor if they had kept him. They would have just lowered his cap number by the pay cut. But I think they were at like 37, something like that. It was 46 initially. Then they took all that money out, so maybe it's even less. Maybe it's like 32. They still got plenty.
Yeah, $4 million. $4 million is a little bit more than popcorn money.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
All right, let's play some trivia. Jesse, what's today's category? I assume it's Terry Bradshaw jokes.
It is not. It is the...
Kind of like the story.
Well, it's Terry Bradshaw adjacent, I would say. The sports concert weekend recap. Not just your usual Monday sports weekend recap, but there was a lot of music being played around our area over the last 3 days. So the sports concert weekend recap, which did include the Terry Bradshaw show at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford in that lump. So yes, Terry Bradshaw adjacent trivia category today.
All right, well, we'll keep rolling with Terry Bradshaw's jersey number that Aaron Rodgers will not be wearing. Caller 12 right now, caller 12, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 12 plays trivia. Coming up next, after I tell you that I got a little tip for you. Not only should you switch to Associated Bank, obviously, for their great customer service, but their debit cards are great. The only problem is you got to activate them, and you got to bring them with you to the grocery store. which I think is a reasonable expectation for Associated Bank to have. I have very high expectations of them, even though they have low expectations of me, because they've got that great customer service. They've got that Packers checking, Badgers checking, and Brewers checking. They've got early pay. They've got credit monitoring. Great score on my credit, by the way, when I was switching to my new vehicle. All those great things because of Associated Bank. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Trivia's next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 1st.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the New York Mets.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in July 1st at 6:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic.
We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds.
Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big?
3/4 of a carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win.
Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one?
Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
situation here. And I'm not talking about the girls testing out their fun stuff from Vortex Golf, they were very generous for our girls. We were very excited. We were using our rangefinder on mailboxes down the streets, dogs that were walking. We're getting the real hang of how to use a rangefinder. No, the issue
kind of sounds like espionage.
Yeah, a little bit. They make good spies. CIA. You, on the other hand, neglected. And I'm not putting it all on you, because Squat Fest was awesome. We had a great time. We had great guests. Tausch did a great job. If you tuned in late, you missed me with my light ball that I was using to simulate what we saw at Squat Fest. But we never picked last week's trivia winner.
Mm-hmm.
And that wouldn't be a problem, except one of last week's contestants is now today's contestant. So Elijah and Poinette, stay on hold, because if you get picked, you are then ineligible to play, and we'll have to get a new caller. Right? Isn't that how this works?
That is how we should go about this. Yeah, this is a fail all around. We should have drawn it Friday, and knowing we didn't draw it Friday, we should have drawn it before we took our contestant today. Mistakes were made.
Not by you, of course.
Yeah, I'd first point elsewhere, but I might be part of it.
Okay, well, draw your winner, and then let me be clear. I am not actively rooting against Elijah because I'm a jerk. I'm rooting against Elijah winning the Vortex Golf prize pack because I don't want to have to go through the callers again and start over.
That'd be tough.
I hope he wins this week, but not with this drawing.
Congratulations to not Elijah. Brian in Milwaukee. Our trivia winner from last Wednesday.
You're like Brad at Woodman's, saving the day by being the winner. All right, let's start by playing some trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Now let's welcome in our contestant who did not win the Vortex Golf prize pack moments ago, but maybe he'll win this week. It is Elijah in Poinette. Elijah, 2 weeks in a row, buddy. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Sorry for rooting against you, pal. I hope you understand.
That's okay. Yeah.
Thanks for being so understanding. All right. It is some weird category that Jesse is calling the Sports Concert Weekend Recap. Question number 1 is this. Which all-time great Green Bay Packers player was featured walking alongside country artist Morgan Wallen into Camp Randall Stadium on Sunday night? Was it Brett Favre, Leroy Butler, or Mark Tauscher?
Oh, geez. I think Mark went to the concert, he said, right? But I didn't hear that he was walking with them. Let's go with Leroy Butler.
Well, there goes the perfect week.
The good news is you were right. Tausch went to the concert but did not walk out on stage with Morgan Wallen, unless I missed a report of that.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Did Brett Favre sit with you?
He did not.
Did you see him at all other than when he walked onto the stage?
I did not.
Okay, there you go. Keep saving your voice. Question 2 is this, Elijah. Nelly! Not to be confused with Whoa Nelly or Jesse Nelson.
We are very different.
Performed a post-game concert. I saw the billboard for this. Following the Brewers' victory over the Rockies on Friday night at American Family Field. Which Midwestern city, home to a Major League Baseball team, is Nellie's hometown?
No, I know.
St. Louis.
Yep.
I was going to change Detroit to Muskego, but I didn't have to. Well done. All right, you're 1 for 2. Here's question 3. Terry Bradshaw plays the father of Matthew McConaughey's main character, Trip, in which 2006 romantic comedy? Is that classic film How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Fool's Gold, or Failure to Launch?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Let's go with A.
Confession, I've never seen any of these movies, and I feel like Tausch has told us that How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is a modern classic. Unfortunately, it's not the correct answer.
It's a great rom-com. It is a great rom-com.
Correct answer, Failure to Launch. Failure to Launch. And in this case...
Yeah, I have not seen that either.
That one's not great. That one's not great.
Well, this was a failure to get 2 questions right, but you did get 1 right, which means you've got 2 entries into this week's drawing. How many did you get right last week, Elijah?
2.
All right. So you've got 1 fewer entry. But
that's
hey,
good luck.
That's right.
You didn't win with...
All I can do is keep trying.
Day, though, too. There's 1 less day this week, too.
True. Good point. Unless you guys played
Better
double
There you
trivia
go.
or something.
Rumor has it we may have a double up on Wednesday.
Okay, well then, Elijah, I guess that's not the case. You don't have better options.
Good luck to you, sir. Thanks, Elijah.
Right,
we
thanks,
appreciate
guys.
your loyalty to the show, buddy.
Yep, bye.
All right, that is Wilde and Tausch trivia for today. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, you recommend I should really...
Oh, it's great.
Wherever
yeah,
I have to stream that, I should track it down, even on Peacock.
No, it's a great movie. It's not good. It's a great movie.
Okay.
In the rom-com genre, it's as good as you're going to make it. It's as good as a rom-com as you're going to find. It's got, and especially for sports fans, there's some sports in it. There's competition. It's a well-done, well-written, well-executed rom-com.
I come to you and I say, Tausch, you have 1 film you're allowed to watch. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or The Cutting Edge?
Oh.
The aforementioned
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Skating film.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Now, I think if you tell me right now there's only 1 movie you can watch for the rest of your life, what are you picking? If I'm only going to be on an airplane, I'm picking Top Gun Maverick. If I'm going to live on an airplane the rest of my life, that's what I would pick.
Okay. Not Oppenheimer?
But I think I could narrow it down to 3 movies and it covers different genres.
Funny. Nobody even acknowledged it. That was a good
I missed it. What did you see? You always talk over me. What was it?
I said, not Oppenheimer?
No.
The Shape of Water.
That was a one and done for me, and I won't watch it again.
All right. What are those films? Or were you teasing us out? I wasn't sure.
I was going to tease it because I know we're up against
back.
the clock a little bit. There you go. I will, and I'm also going to force Jesse and Jason.
Force?
You get 3 movies to watch the rest of your life. That's it. Be smart. Understand the genres. Are you going to just pick 1 genre for all? I don't know. That's up to you, but I am going to tell you next what my 3 movies are, and I think one of them is going to surprise you. We'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut. With kids, sports, summer vacations, and plenty of other things keeping us busy this time of year, it's hard to plan meals ahead of time. That's why Pizza Hut is hooking us up with the Hut Hookup. Spend $7.99 at Pizza Hut today, and you get a free large 1-topping pizza later. You heard that right. Pizza now and more pizza later. Download the Pizza Hut app or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Hut Hookup, available now only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. For the third year in a row, we've been nominated for Best Radio Team by Madison Magazine.
This year, we need your help to take home the gold in Best of Madison.
Vote for Jim, Matt, and Molly throughout the month of June at madisonmagazine.com/BOM.
They say people like us, so show it and vote at Madison.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol. Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Hey y'all, Eli Winters here. I want to talk to you about something that's more important than ever, taking care of the wildlife around us. Our planet is home to some of the most amazing creatures you could ever imagine, from the biggest bears to the smallest birds and everything in between. But here's the truth. Many of these animals are in danger, habitats are disappearing, and we're losing species at a rate we've never seen before. If we want our kids and their kids to experience the magic of wildlife that we have today, it's on us to step it up and take action. You can make a difference. Learn more about wildlife conservation in your area and how you can help, whether it's supporting local wildlife refuges, reducing pollution, or simply taking a little time to appreciate the wild beauty around you. It all counts. This is Eli Winters. Let's make sure our wildlife is around for generations to come. Y'all take care of the earth and it'll take care of us. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I don't know.
Tease-a-palooza?
I don't know if it's a palooza if it's only one tease. That doesn't seem like it's paloozed.
I don't know. We've got another tease that we're paying off later in the program. But before that, Tausch's 3 movies that he would watch for the rest of his life if he only had those 3 to watch.
Yeah, there's one. So I am going to reverse order this. I'm going to go top to bottom, and normally that's obviously not how you do it, but Shawshank Redemption is always going to be at the top of my list. I don't know if there'll be a movie, unless I am a star actor in a movie, that would ever trump it for me.
60-yard
And
line.
I'm not going to be a star, and I won't be. That's not something I aspire to do. So Shawshank Redemption, top of my list. It's not on as much, I've noticed. It used to be on like a TNT and I don't know if they sign packages now that they can only go to a Netflix. I don't know how all that works. So I don't get to see it as much as maybe I had in the past. Shawshank, number 1. Wedding Crashers is number 2. That movie, I think, stands the test of time. It has everything that you're looking for me anyways, in a movie. And then 3 I struggle with. This one is, I'm having a hard time really winnowing this down.
Winnowing.
I don't know which road I want to go down because I don't think it's going to be a rom-com. I'm actually kind of hoping it would be a biopic of some sort that would bring a little more substance to it. But the proof is in the pudding, and I continue to do this every time I get on a plane, and I have to go Top Gun Maverick as my 3rd. That made the list as my 3rd. That is my list of 3, with a tough one that got bumped because I had to stay consistent.
Wait, so who got bumped?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles got bumped. That was going to be my 3, but realistically, like if I'm on a plane and I have to pick between Top Gun Maverick and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I'm going to pick Top Gun Maverick every time. So that's why I had to bump Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That is my list of 3, and I think it's a really strong list.
I'm curious. You said we have to...
And what was the show that we said we were going to do a YouTube watch? It was Lost, right?
Lost, right. But that's a show.
Yeah,
that's
and
not
my brother totally soured me on this. He said, don't waste your time. It sucks. And I was thinking, I've had people tell me it's awesome.
Wait, which brother?
And it will really... he's up in my Minnesotan brother.
Okay.
Bone on bone, as we used to call him.
Okay, yep, sure.
But now his knee's good, so he doesn't have those issues. I still think I'm going to probably do that. But what I want, Jason, I don't know what your 4th of July plans are. You're going to get away, you're going to have a little time. What I would like to do, this is a movie that was not very heralded. And I want the 3 of us to watch this movie and review it at some point before training camp starts. Now we can pull this off. It is called The Ratings Game with Danny DeVito. I would like for the 3 of us, it's a unique movie, not very well known. I would like for us to watch it, and then we all give our reviews of the movie on a digi-only or something of that ilk.
Wait, can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, in essence, it is a guy, Danny DeVito, that put together a really crappy TV show, but he found a way to rig the Nielsen ratings, and the show ended up being a huge hit because he evacuated people out of their Nielsen homes and put people in to watch this bad TV show. That's the elevator pitch of what the TV show is.
Okay, and you think it's a great film?
No, I think it's funny. I think it's very good, and I think it's unique in the fact that nobody's watched it. So let me know if you boys are interested. I think
The
it could be something fun.
Ratings Game. Okay, I'll have to look that up. All right, All right. If it's on Peacock, I'm going to be irritated.
That would be something.
All right.
I'm guessing it would be on Netflix.
So this is obviously a very difficult question because there are so many great movies, and I'm a little confused because I don't feel like there was a colossal variance in your selections.
No, Planes, Trains, and Automobile was. That was nobody's going to put that on their top 3.
I literally
I don't even
have
know if
it
John
as
Candy's
3.
family would.
No.
You what?
I literally have it.
Is that right?
And I did this
okay,
before.
Well, I digressed.
I did this before you gave your list.
All right.
But you said that we needed to consider different genres.
Yeah.
And I got like 2 comedies and an action movie.
You enjoyed a laugh. You like laughing.
And I left off my all-time favorite movie, which is Back to the Future, because I've seen it hundreds of times. Like, I love Marty McFly and Dr. Emmett Brown. I do. It's my favorite movie. But I left it off because I've seen it as much as I have. Now, my movie that didn't make the cut, that is under the radar, that I would have liked to have put on the list if I'd have gotten a 4th spot, Jennifer Lopez, George Clooney, Out of Sight, 1996. If you've never seen that, I'm giving you your homework assignment.
No, I've seen it. It is a sexy movie.
That's
that is
a really good movie. Yes.
No, it's sexy.
And it's funny. And it's kind of an action film. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
That's a good movie.
But that did not make the cut. Number 3 for me was indeed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And now I don't know if I feel better or worse about the fact that you considered it and then snubbed it. Because I thought I thought that was our one of our connections. So we both love Del Griffith.
Oh, I'm a big fan of the movie, but there's only 3, Jason. There's only 3.
I know. So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in number 3. Number 2, I said it earlier, Major League. Which, by the way, I'm rewatching Ted Lasso as I get my workouts in now. And kind of took the plot line and made a little bit of a twist, but kind of took the plot line of Major League and put it in soccer across the pond, right? Ex-wife owner trying to ruin ball club.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil. I haven't watched it.
You should. It's really good. But my number 1, and it's not Shawshank. Again, Shawshank falls under the same category as Back to the Future. I have watched it enough that I'm not going to put on my list because I only get 3. Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. Tommy Lee Jones, The City of Chicago. I love The Fugitive. Those are my 3. Major League, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and The Fugitive. Jesse,
I would not. The Fugitive would not be anywhere near my top 40, but the fact that your other 2, I can get on board with your other 2. I think your other 2 probably make my top 25. Definitely Planes, Trains, and Automobiles would.
Well, I feel good about my picks, except for apparently the
good picks.
Fugitive.
Before I share mine, I'd like to do something for both myself and for our YouTube audience. We apparently had some type of audio issue when Tausch was sharing his list. Tausch,
I think Bradshaw had something to do with it.
Your 3 were Top Gun, Maverick, Shawshank, and what was the 3rd?
What?
Your 3 movies. Top Gun, Maverick, Shawshank Redemption, and what was the 3rd?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
No, Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was trying to do a Terry Bradshaw joke there.
Nice.
Also, I'm getting some criticism.
Well, I don't think Terry Bradshaw wasn't in that movie.
Jesse, who's on your list?
All right, so if I only get 3 movies to watch for the rest of my life, I want to make sure they're longer movies so that I get to enjoy them.
Oppenheimer.
For everything that I can get out of them.
Wicked.
I also want to make sure that I have a variety of movies because I do want a genre that I want a little bit of suspense. I want a little bit of fun, but I also need something that's kids appropriate because when I'm a grandparent someday, I want to be able to watch a movie with my kids.
Oh, are you making an announcement?
I am not.
Interesting. I thought you were. I was like, wow. So let's go.
An interesting way to do it. So, number 1 is my favorite movie of all time, The Prestige. Christopher Nolan directed.
Great movie.
Fantastic.
Really good flick.
That has a lot of rewatchability to it, where you learn something, discover something new every time you watch it. So
I gave you back your DVD, right?
You did, yes, from years ago.
You were right. By the way, you were right. That you told me to watch it. I eventually did, and you were right.
Really good.
Yep.
Prestige is number 1. I do want something action-adventure, and I think...
we go up 3, 2, 1.
Well, it does. These are in no parts. This is just tier 1 to me. So I didn't put Star Wars or Batman on here, even though I love both of those franchises. But
Dark Knight.
But there are enough. Like, well, I can recite Dark Knight and Bane as much as I want. Now I've seen that enough.
We know.
Of course.
Nice. But there's also a lot of streaming shows that are becoming like spin-offs from those, so I felt like I didn't need to do that. So I put Avengers Endgame, the culminating movie of the Avengers franchise, as far as it is to me. I haven't really watched the new one since that came out, but that one is on my list. And then a Disney movie, The Lion King. That's the one I wanted to have that's kids appropriate for when you're later in life. You want to watch a movie with your kids, get good music.
Hakuna Matata.
Exactly. Feel good. Lion King. So those are my 3. Avengers Endgame, The Prestige, and The Lion King.
Yeah. You started strong, and you finished with a whimper, in my opinion. Where are you laughing? Where are we laughing with this?
Jesse, nice work doing a graphic on the video.
The only
especially
thing I
since
could
nobody
think of,
could hear you for a while.
Jesse, the only thing I could think of is you don't need comedy because you have that Bradshaw stuff all banked up in your head.
Yep, a lot of jokes.
So you don't need a comedy in your list.
Avengers Endgame has laughs in it. The Lion King has laughs in it. But also there's other... You didn't say you can't watch shows.
Always funny when that lion gets killed. That is funny. I agree.
Point being...
Laugh out loud.
You can still watch comedy streaming shows. You can still watch sitcoms on regular television.
Jesse, no, you can't. You only have 3 things left. That's the point of it.
You said movies. You didn't say shows. You didn't say game shows. You didn't say sports. You said 3 movies. These are the 3 movies.
My bad.
Well, that's a loophole if I ever heard one.
It was implied, but
I thought it was too. All right. So, a couple things. One, our apologies to those in the ESPN Madison YouTube channel who were watching without sound. This is how loyal some of our listeners are. Shout out to Jane, who turned on the radio but continued to watch on YouTube so she could hear what was being said.
Wow.
Jane's the GOAT. That is
So thank you, Jane. That is really good work. Secondly, getting a few texts privately that I left off Moneyball. Again, one of my all-time favorites, quoted all the time. Not enough humor. I took Tausch's advice. I want to be able to laugh. And I'm not going to use some sort of loophole that I'm going to be able to watch comedy shows.
I'm going to be able to get a DVD of Bradshaw down at Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
Now, DVD is a movie.
Not necessarily.
In this hypothetical, am I allowed to go to see a comedian in person in a theater, or does that count suddenly, too, for what you're saying?
Are you on a desert island? Does it even have a theater?
Can I go on a cruise and go see a comedy show, or is that inappropriate?
A lot of rules. A lot of rules.
Can I watch the Tom Brady roast on Netflix? I don't know how we count that.
That's good. A lot of laughs in that.
Hilarious.
All right. We're not quite done with the 10 o'clock hour. We need to get to a little more football. And Jesse has, or at least Rob Domofsky has, a surprise for us. That's also a tease. It's becoming a tease-a-palooza. That's next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day on July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Carbless, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Fifth Third Bank, Cider Heating, Plumbing and Electrical, Gruber Law Offices, Welke's Milwaukee Florist, and Jet Out. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
This fall, there's only one place to be, Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin football returns with can't-miss matchups, including Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and more. From the first touchdown to jump around and the celebration of the fifth quarter. Experience the traditions and unforgettable memories that make Wisconsin football so special. Single-game tickets are now on sale. Lock in your spot today by visiting uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Wisconsin football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Time to stock up for your 4th of July picnics, parties, and celebrations. Do you need a cold half barrel? Maybe a great bottle of wine? Or hard to find liquor? We have everything you need at the lowest prices in town. It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Buy any one 15-pack of 16-ounce aluminum bottles of Miller Lite, Coors Light, or Coors Banquet, or any one 12-pack of Happy Thursday Spiked Refresher, and receive one free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store in Milwaukee again. Have a safe and fun 4th of July weekend, and don't forget your free Summerfest ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. You know what that voice was?
Fat Albert.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Gomer Pyle, which is even older than Dallas. Are surprises throughout the 32 teams in the NFL. Biggest surprise for the Green Bay Packers from the 2025 offseason. I'm going to say that I could give you 10 guesses, and I don't think you'd get it.
Okay, the biggest surprise of the offseason for the Packers. That's what you're telling me.
I'm telling you.
The player who has been the biggest surprise. Yeah, it can't be like a thing.
Oh,
it's a player.
Player. Specific player, yeah.
Well, I would have said that left guard that came in, but then when LaFleur said he didn't even know his name,
Donovan Jennings, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The biggest surprise for the G&G this offseason, according to who?
Robert J. Domofsky.
All right, I'm going to go with the punter.
Daniel Whelan. The Irishman.
Punter.
That's not it.
Okay, you got 9 left.
I get 10 guesses. Marshawn Lloyd.
0 for 2.
Okay. Is it a player?
They are all players, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is players.
Oh, there's 10? Oh.
No, every team has a player. Each beat writer chose a player from the offseason. You're 0 for 2.
Devontae Wyatt.
0 for 3.
Coop.
0 for 4.
All right. Evan Williams.
0 for 5.
He did say you wouldn't get it.
Dontavion Wicks.
0 for 6. Come on.
Malik Willis.
0 for 7.
Malik Willis.
You're slumping. You're getting further.
Come on. 3 more.
Further? That means
Well,
it's
actually,
defense.
don't. That might not be the best clue. Don't listen to me.
Well, what do you mean? You just said that.
Jesse!
Am I getting closer or am I not?
I don't know.
You have not guessed the right person.
Well, no blank. The game would be over if I guessed the right person right now already. Bo Melton.
Now, see, that's who I would have picked. The big surprise was he was playing corner.
That was the biggest surprise of the offseason.
But that is not what Rob Domofsky picked. 0 for 8. Come on, 2 more.
Zach Thomas in a competition at right tackle is the biggest surprise to me.
I don't know what. No? I don't know which play is that. Zach Tom then was the guess.
Yeah.
No. 0 for 9.
Was
One
that leading me in the right? Was that leading me in the right direction or not?
No, you said competition. Zach Tom was in a competition. That's a storyline. That's not necessarily a person.
Somewhere between Malik Willis and Zach Tom. Kinda.
Jesse.
Elton Jenkins.
No. Told you wouldn't get it. Jacob Monk.
Okay. Tell me more. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Almost all the Packers offseason practices were at jog through speed. Rob Domofsky writes, and I may have pointed out during a practice where you shouldn't have been judging anything from it. So it would be unwise to make any major assessments based on those sessions.
You boys in the media now are so scared of blowback that you put qualifiers and pre-qualifiers in so that when people call you out on it, you say, well, I said this. Continue. That is okay, continue.
Seeing who lined up where and with what units was about the only thing worth noting.
Clearly, we haven't talked to Rob in a while because this is as unbold as it gets.
Well, again, it sounds like very. This is what I was trying to tell you, and you ridiculed me publicly.
Oh, I did, and you deserved it.
That's open for debate. In that regard, it was a good offseason for Jacob Monk, the second-year center. With Elton Jenkins skipping the entire offseason program.
I heard the offseason really slows down for guys in their second season.
Monk got the bulk of the work with the starters. He's done a nice job, Coach Matt LaFleur said, of the 2024 fifth-round pick. He's a lot more comfortable and confident in terms of going out there and knowing what to do. And for him, it's just going to come down to those live reps.
Yeah.
Parentheses for me, none of which he received last year as a rookie or in these practices.
Oh, snap.
Jenkins will be the starting center, but Monk has had the chance to show he's a valuable backup. Rob Domofsky.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to apologize to you for giving us nothing on that Thursday, because what Rob just wrote there was more nothing than what you wrote before.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah. Is the NFL trying to water down the offseason to the point now where nobody can make any observations of any sort?
Yeah, sure feels like it. Feels like it.
LaFleur sure is. We know he doesn't want anything getting out about anything and all that.
I was thinking if Jacob Monk was looking really good and they actually thought he could play, how does that complicate the Elton Jenkins new contract?
Right.
That
would
would be intriguing.
But who the hell knows?
No, this is the opposite of intriguing.
So let me ask you this. Do you think from the way they are practicing, and now, you can tease me and I can take it, sort of. I know. From the way they're practicing, do you think they have a better idea of just how good Jacob Monk is after what they saw? No, right? I mean, not even coaches
I'm sure,
who know what they're looking at more than me.
What they probably look at is say, I mean, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. Whether or not he's gotten quicker, I think if you're doing a walkthrough, it's probably tough to tell that. But you just try to bank on the fact that you trusted his numbers when you drafted him. You projected that he could play this position. To me, that red flag was that you didn't put him in last year when stuff started going haywire in that Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, they needed anything to give it a little bit of a... And they couldn't, and they didn't feel comfortable doing that. That tells you more about where they're at. But, again, it's year 2. You get that opportunity to understand what's expected. You get a full offseason to train, and then to do walkthrough and jog-throughs where nobody can really give you any type of evaluation. So the answer is no, and I think LaFleur said it in Rob's piece. Until we get live reps and you start getting into these joint practices and actual padded practices where you have to actually do stuff, they're going to bank on the fact that they can get Elton Jenkins in camp.
Well, that was not a very good surprise. We'll talk about a few other surprises coming up at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. One of my favorite surprises is when I go into Quick Trip and they've got the little mini tacos that I love, or they got a corn dog that I'm excited about in the heated area. I know you always go and grab the chicken.
And today is Chicken Monday. You can get that rotisserie chicken. Jesse, good week for you to give that experiment.
I'm talking to Becca. I think this might be the week. We don't want any leftovers before 4th of July weekend up north. I think we might go for the chicken challenge this week.
What do you think you can get? How many meals can we get? You get the big meal tonight. You can break the chicken legs off and eat like just a normal chicken dinner. And what are you going to do? Can you get 4 with the broth and everything? Make a nice soup.
She says confidently we could get 4 out of it, yeah.
4 is going to be a lot. I can't wait to hear about that. Also can't wait to hear about people winning on the Mountain Dew Quick Climb through August 17th. Play for free right now. You have an opportunity to win $5,000 every week, and it culminates at the middle of August with the top prize of $250,000. So get climbing now in the Quick Rewards app with the Mountain Dew Quick Climb. And they have deals all over the place. 2 for $4. Nature's Touch cream cheese, 29 cents a pound. Onions and bananas. Baked potatoes. Jesse, that could be something to add to that chicken. And hurry up before the end of the month, which is today, $7.99 for those beautiful pothole pizzas. Head on down to Quick Trip. They take care of you. Every reward on purchases. Order ahead. Quick Trip. We're going to see you next time.
I just played. I did the scratch off. I just won 12 extra grand prize entries.
Good win.
See if I win. All right, we'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour talking a little bit about surprises. And at some point, the Milwaukee Brewers, who continue to surprise Jesse Nelson, who called for the manager's head. That starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
What we love about our ability to help patients at QC Kinetics is seeing their pure delight at finally being able to do the things they enjoy without pain.
I had a patient start treatment with me. He wanted to be able to be active again and do some of his sports that he really enjoyed.
Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics, treats patients with chronic joint pain using their body's own biologics. The goal? Get them back to living their best lives without surgery or harmful drugs.
He came back and he goes, what I wasn't expecting was the ability to play on the floor with my grandchildren. Even just saying it now, I have goosebumps because it's changing those small moments that you take for granted.
Don't let joint pain rob you of those moments. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
It just warms my heart to be able to help people live the life they want to live and get those small moments back.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
We need a 4th hour today. You got anything going on?
Yeah, I'm good with 3 today.
Okay.
But
So
I think you and Jesse can roll a 4th if you want.
Sure, Digi only.
Nah, I'm good with 3.
Sure.
All right, so we've got we talked a little bit about the surprise Jacob Monk. We talked a little bit about Bobby Portis, but we never really got further into that. And the Brewers continue to prove Jesse wrong. Now, they did lose yesterday. They were 1 out away from a sweep of the lowly Rockies, and not a great loss, to be sure, but certainly not
bad loss, actually.
The same as being swept by the Oakland Athletics in 3 games and everyone thinking you're dead for the season. And I need your help with something because I need to get ready to unveil the 20 most important Packers of 2025 with number 20, which will tip off tomorrow on channel3000.com. So I guess, Tausch, I will give you the dealer's choice of what you'd like to discuss
Okay.
right now.
What is the dealer's choice? You got to give me the options. What are they?
Well, I feel like I just outlined them.
The
You were talking
Milwaukee
about the Brewers
Brewers
and the Rockies, and you said top 20 Packers.
That's
What's
two.
the dealer's choice?
Yeah, or the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Those
You're
are
the
All
dealer.
right, let's talk Bucks.
Or
Bucks.
Bucks. Bucks it is. Good choice.
That was not. Listen, I will hold myself to account. That was not set up well. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about, if I'm being honest. I thought you were rambling a little bit about the Brewers and Jesse, and I started thinking, had the Rockies swept the Brewers, would we be having the same conversation about the same exact time when the Oakland A's, because they're both god-awful teams. And I would have lessons learned for me, even though I said that they would not win a championship, and by the way, they didn't. I would not have written them off had the Rockies swept them, because I know baseball is a fickle game. Crazy things can happen.
Now, wait a minute.
He's revising history.
Revisionist historian Mark Tauscher. That's exactly what I was going to call him.
I said they weren't going to win.
Dunzo. You did not say that they were not going to win the championship after they lost to the Athletics.
I said that they were
you
done.
said the Badgers were going to the Final Four before you even knew they were playing in Milwaukee.
No, I knew they'd be in Milwaukee. I said if they were in Milwaukee.
No.
See, the thing is, you can add. You know what? Do you ever court filings? They add addendums to things. You can add amendments to things. Not everything needs to be boom. Sometimes you can adjust and say, okay. And in this case, I said they were donezo. They were not going to win a championship. Didn't say that they wouldn't make the playoffs and get knocked out. Never said that. Sometimes things can be left unsaid, and you guys can imply what you think I thought.
What do you think Dunzo means?
Dunzo means Dunzo means they ain't winning a championship.
Pretty bad game.
Period.
Wow, bring Dunzo out to say that was a bad loss.
You don't think what does Dunzo mean to you? That they're not going to play anymore?
That they're not going to win a championship.
It was June.
Yeah.
Guys, it was June. That they ain't going to win a championship. You're right. That's what that means.
Come on.
It doesn't mean that they're folding up shop.
Yes, they're folding up shop.
It doesn't mean they're folding up shop and not going to play another game.
No, they're playing out the string. They're donezo. The season's over. They just got to keep playing the games because they're on the schedule. Donezo does not mean they're not winning a chip. Come on.
I said I wanted to talk Bucks.
You did pick Bucks. I don't know how we ended up here.
Well, then tell us about American Family Insurance, and we'll talk Bucks next on Dealer's Choice from the Hard Rock Casino Rockford with Mark Tauscher.
Okay. American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde Tausch, and man, we had a great time at the Amphitheater to watch the Killers. Again, you go out in the community. American Family Insurance is everywhere. They support everything local for almost 100 years. They've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, all so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Tausch has chosen the Bucks as the next conversational topic. So we're all on the same page. Bucks Talk, not the actual show that Justin Garcia hosts. Our version of it is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Amber Wilson.
Your philosophy was very clearly that you thought KD and Kyrie, you thought you had something going that direction, and then all of a sudden you win the lottery. And so now you have Cooper Flagg coming in. Your core is going to be a 33-year-old and a 32-year-old, and those players both seem more 35 than they do 32 and 33.
Right.
And typically, when you have players in that situation, you need to win in the next 2 years is your championship window. Cooper Flagg is an 18-year-old and isn't going to be ready. Even if he turns out to be what everybody thinks he's going to be, he's not going to be ready to win a championship in the next 2 years. So I don't know how you combine those philosophies. And I don't think you can bring in Cooper Flagg and trade him away if you're Dallas. I don't think you can trade away AD if you're Dallas. I don't think you can trade anybody if you're Dallas. Heck, you've got to sit on your hands if you're Dallas.
Something amazing is happening in meteorology. Climate researchers are weathering a data storm. That's because CDW transformed their devices and infrastructure to pre-configured Lenovo ThinkPads and powerful edge-to-cloud solutions, delivering faster insights to run more accurate forecast models. So it's almost like they're controlling the weather themselves. Lenovo and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Attend the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Gates open at 6 with music from Hot Rod, Huey, and the B-Sides starting at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. It's Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park this Wednesday with Hot Rod, Huey, and the B-Sides.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Back with the Bucks. 3 years, $44 million. And some differing opinions on whether this is going to be a good long-term investment or not. First, before we hear from our resident NBA analyst, expert, what are we calling you again?
Not expert.
Devotee.
Not expert. I just
consumer.
I don't know.
Aficionado.
What the right word is, Jason. No, that's probably too strong.
Observer.
Avid. I think I know the big. I'm a big picture guy. I don't know all the nuts and bolts like I do.
30,000 foot view guy.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. Well, let's hear from a few people that take a little bit closer look.
Okay.
First, Tim Bontemps on his view of this signing and what it means for the Bucks when he talked with Evan Cohen on Sunday's NBA free agency special on ESPN Radio.
I think it's about what the number he was going to get was. I probably, certainly a question of years. He gets a player option in the third year. But look, for the Bucks, it's a big summer for them. Having Bobby Portis at the 4 who can shoot the ball a little bit, create some space for Giannis. Again, if Brook Lopez isn't back, maybe Giannis is doing the point center thing on a regular basis this year. And, it's the first of what should be a pretty active week for the Bucks as they try to build a team around Giannis good enough to contend in the East.
Okay, so now that's Tim and his take. I saw your guy, Bobby Marksy, as you like to call him, wrote that this contract may not age well, but that they made this move because they, again, are trying to keep their star player, and they felt like this would be something that would succeed in doing that. And that is the thought process that the guy that we like on this show, Justin Garcia we love on this show, but we like Windy. We're Windy guys on this show. And Windy made the case for the Bucks running it back this season with Bobby Portis and Giannis and crew because of the landscape of the Eastern Conference. Here is Windy.
If you look at the Eastern Conference, you could make a case that if they are able to bring their core players back, re-sign Brook Lopez, retain Bobby Portis, retain Gary Trent Jr., and find a point guard that can fill in the gap until Dame Lillard hopefully comes back late in the season, you could make an argument that they could maybe get up into that top 6 and give themselves a chance as they look at other teams in the East struggle with injuries.
All right, Tausch, now you've heard from them. Now we want to hear from you. You said earlier in the show, in case you joined us late or the audio wasn't working on YouTube, that you liked it, you didn't love it. Mm-hmm. But that if you're going to keep Giannis, and this helps keep Giannis, then you like it more than you do on the surface. How do you view big picture, though, what this is in terms of where this team is at? Brook Lopez being part of the equation. There's a lot of moving pieces that come along with this move.
There is, and I think when it comes to where this team is going, when JG joined us earlier, after their season ended, you start looking at the landscape of it, and the Bucks are pretty limited. Mm-hmm. Like, there isn't some magic wand. They don't have first-round picks. I think their next available one that they have is 2031. Yeah. The only way to really go about this, and the league with the last negotiation has made it more you have to kind of keep your guys. That is what I think they're trying to do. And, they're trying to make it where you can't get 3 stars, and they're very punitive with, by the way, the best branding of all time. They have a hard cap. The NFL has a hard salary cap, and you can maneuver it with signing bonuses and whatnot. But when you call it an apron, everybody kind of is like, oh, it's an apron. Oh, it's a second apron. Ooh. I like having aprons in my kitchen. It's a weird deal that it loses some of the rigidity of a hard cap, and somehow they've maneuvered that into, hey, that's not so bad, and it helps every other team. But when it comes to Bobby Portis, I think we've all I already discussed this. I think he is someone that he's a spurt guy, he's an energy guy. And if Giannis likes him and that helps Giannis feel better about sticking around and seeing this thing through, I'm on board. And I think Justin Garcia in our little text string also mentioned if things don't go well, you can also, this contract that Bobby Portis has is movable. It's not a crazy number for someone that can give you points off the bench or can start for you and kind of be that stretch four that some teams are going to really like.
So, again, whether or not this, is some sort of big signing that appeases Giannis, I don't think we're saying that. But, again, the idea of keeping the band together, I think, appeals to Giannis. And to Wendy's point, the East is pretty open all of a sudden. That everyone's got a major piece injured, right? Except the Knicks, do they have a coach yet?
They do not.
No.
They just had the draft. Free agency starting today. They don't know who their coach is?
That is correct.
That seems odd. I from a layman's perspective, which is not 30,000 feet like you, nor is it the expertise of Windy and his crew, I just want Giannis to stay. And whatever it takes to make that happen, I hope it happens. But as Justin Garcia points out, you can do all these things. You can retain Gary Trent Jr., and you can bring back Brook Lopez. And Giannis could still say, you know what, this isn't working. I think it is time for me to explore other options. So I don't think this necessarily puts us in any different frame of mind. It's just one piece that does matter to this team, and it's a guy that everybody likes, right? Like, everybody on the team seems to like him. Certainly the fan base likes him. So that's a good thing. And to your and Justin's point, if it does blow up, you can trade him. It's not a onerous contract that no one's going to want to take on. Right?
Mm-hmm. That's the point. And I don't think anybody in Milwaukee or our fans are looking at this and saying, if you run this back and you get Dame back late in the season, do we think that this team can win a championship?
No, I don't think this year, no. Even if you get Dame back late in the season, because he's not going to be until 2026 that he's.
I think they
if
can be
your
in the
core
mix.
is the same as it is right now, which I don't know where they're going to find. I don't know, and maybe John Horst has something up his sleeve.
Bring back Drew
and
Holiday.
We'll find out. No, you never know, right? That's going to be the interesting part of this. I don't know what you can do, but I don't think there's anybody that watched the end of this season, even with Dame, and thought, yeah, this is a championship team. Maybe I'm mistaken. Mm-hmm. Maybe there are people that thought a healthy Dame and a healthy Giannis would beat Indiana, would beat New York, would have beat Boston, whatever. I don't sense anyone felt that. And I don't know, after you made the moves, getting rid of Chris Middleton and bringing in Kuz, and you were hoping for more. Now, maybe you find a little more refined roles. You find guys, and Giannis stays healthy, and Dame comes back and is fresh as the daisy in March, and all of a sudden you get rolling in April, May, June. That could happen. I wouldn't bet it.
I wouldn't either. All right, we need to get to Whoa Nelly, but not until Tausch tells us about UW Credit Union, which, by the way, that was among the expired ATM cards that I had in my wallet. That also didn't work.
For every stage of life, doesn't matter if you're trying to find 17 cents or $1,700, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, why'd you join UW Credit Union, old T? Well, I wanted to keep my banking local. I love their member-first service and their great perks like early payday, and they have a great debit card. But honestly, Bucky, how do you say no to that little rascal? If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes you do crazy things. This just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions to apply.
Whoa, Nelly, not to be confused with the artist who played a concert after the Brewers game on Friday, is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman here. It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July Sales Spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. And with free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, we make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess. Just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles that are leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
We didn't know what to expect. We were just left in a hotel.
My mom was doing drugs in the house.
Tay and Brianna spent years of their childhood in homes that weren't safe. They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I didn't know what my future was.
I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was afraid of everything.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Brianna and Tay were adopted and now feel excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I really want to travel the world.
I'm going to be a mechanic, and I can focus on my career.
Right now, in the United States, there are more than 100,000 children in foster care, just like Brianna and Tay, who need a family now. Learn how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
There is a story that I'm hoping Jesse is going to tell during Wonelli because he texted about it from AmFam Field. Let's find out together. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde Tausch.
Those watching on the video stream can see I have my Pat Murphy bobblehead fully in hand. I was at Saturday's Brewers game with a group of 16. Big group.
Ooh.
Big group.
How'd you break down the seating?
2 rows of 8.
Okay.
Which worked out really well, I think, actually. Better than 1 row of 16. Pat Murphy bobblehead day on Saturday. Kind of ironic that I was there for that, but I do have one in possession here, holding his reigning NL Manager of the Year trophy. Pretty cool bobblehead. I hadn't gotten a bobblehead from the stadium in a while. It's a nice one. I'm glad I have it because he is a great manager and led the team to the postseason and overachieved last year and appears to be on a trajectory to overachieve once again here in 2025. So
you're a beauty.
It's a great bobblehead to have.
Yeah.
Team's been hot. Best record in baseball over the last 30 games entering play yesterday.
Well, that's an interesting stat.
Yeah, could have been through 31 games had they not blown it in the bottom of the 9th yesterday. And actually could have been 1 game back of the Cubs entering play today. Instead, they're 2 back. Going to New York to face the Mets, who have been slumping. Chance to pounce on the Mets. And David Stearns. Chance to pounce on the Dodgers next week before the All-Star break. The Miz on the mound on Wednesday this week, allegedly. Could be another big week heading into the break here for the Brewers. Just 2 back and 11 games over 500, I believe we're sitting at. Or 10 games. 10 games because they lost yesterday. So let's talk about the bobblehead for a minute because we ran into a guy at the stadium that he's the worst. So
what's his name?
Don't know.
Did he demand that the manager be fired?
He did not. So when you walk in, and thanks, I had my not out-of-date Associated Bank debit card on hand, so we were able to go very quickly into the stadium through the Associated Bank entrance out in center field. It's fantastic. So we get the Pat Murphy bobbleheads, and there's a lurker. Even worse than a dweller is a lurker. He's lurking right around the entrance. And he sees, we took a couple of different cars in, so there were 4 of us that walked in together from our group that we drove to the stadium. And so he sees a group of 4, 30-ish people who look like they're there on a Saturday just to have some Coors Lights and have a good time and may not care about their bobbleheads. And he comes up to us and he says, "Hey, when my kids came in, they weren't allowed to get a bobblehead. Would you guys mind sharing one of yours so I could give it to one of them?" He, while he's asking this, doesn't have any bobbleheads in his hand of his own. Also, no children to be found anywhere.
Are you suggesting that he was less than truthful?
I 100% know this guy probably doesn't even have kids and is just trying to get extra bobbleheads for free so that he can try and turn around and sell them like the cribbage board on eBay or wherever else afterward. And shame on that guy and shame on anyone else who's trying to stoop to that level on a bobblehead giveaway. Let people come in with their bobbleheads. Get them the right way. If you want extra bobbleheads, buy extra tickets and go out and back in and do your thing however you want to that way. That's fine if you want to go that route.
Yeah!
Don't just ask and try to panhandle people like Wilde at the Woodman's checkout for a bobblehead just so that you can try and turn around and turn a profit on it online. Shame on that guy. Shame on anybody else that does that. And I know they're out there.
Do you think that you should be mandated to go in and watch a certain amount of innings to get the bobblehead?
So I've always thought this. They do the all-fan giveaways on the way into the stadium, and I think now you'd have to figure this out because you'd have to wait to give them away until like the game is over.
Can't put them in the seats. People will poach and steal them.
I'm not opposed to give them away on the way out because also so I've got the whole box here. Like everyone's walking
you
around.
Stay by the microphone so we can hear
Everyone's walking around with the box the whole time, and you're worried. Like when you set them down at your seat. Okay, if like we were there with a group of 16, not a big deal. But if you're there with a group of 2, just you and a friend, and you want to get up and go get nachos, you're probably not going to carry the bobblehead with you, and then someone might steal it if you're leaving it under the chair, or you do carry it, then it becomes a hassle. Why not do the all-fan giveaway on the way out?
Yeah.
After the end of the game.
Hey, Jesse?
Yeah.
JSC.
I'm going to tell you something. I think this is a really smart idea.
Yeah.
Nothing until the third inning. You can leave the game. And if you don't want to, it actually will make it easier for the bobblehead collectors because the lines will be shorter for everybody that went into the game. and you can come in and get one and leave, but it's after the third inning. Third inning, we'll staff it, we'll have it out there, and when you exit the facility, you get your bobblehead. That would be, I think, a wise. But then what's going to happen is the diehard fans that want to stay for 9 innings don't. So I have to. I'm thinking this through as I'm saying it.
You can't do it until after the game is over. Because then if fans leave early, the price of leaving early is you don't get the giveaway. The incentive to stay for all 9 innings.
But you have no traffic.
The incentive to stay for all 9 innings is you get the giveaway after the game is done. If you want to come in late, whatever, but that's the incentive to stay. I am all for it.
So Sydney and I went to a Chicago Sky game last year, and they did exactly this with their bobbleheads. They gave them out on your way out. It was great. Because then you're not schlepping them around when you go. You got pretzel in one hand, a Slurpee in the other, and then you got your boxed bobblehead in the third hand. Like, it was really convenient. I liked it. But again, we stayed till the end. So if you're really going to institute that rule, Jesse, there's going to be a lot of people that are trying to beat the traffic that are going to be unhappy about missing out on their bobblehead.
That's too bad. You're choosing to leave the game early. You can't leave the movie before it ends and then complain that you didn't get to see the end of the movie. It's your choice.
I don't think leaving the game early is the same as leaving a movie early.
I mean, if you really want to...
I don't know if there's an actual really good solution to this other than I think this is just going to be the way it's going to be. That's what I think.
Whoa, Nelly! So
after all
Jane,
that, we're just right back where we started.
Jane, who we lauded earlier for being so dedicated to the show that she turned on the radio when the audio dropped off of the YouTube channel. In the YouTube comments, she was at Yankee Stadium when they introduced the Reggie bars, the candy bar for Reggie Jackson. Reggie hit a home run. And first you saw one candy bar on the field, then the game was halted as the umpires had to pick up hundreds of Reggie bars. So maybe they should have given out the Reggie bars on the way out.
Well,
in retrospect there.
Derek Turnbow bobblehead night. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Yeah, he wasn't. He'd been traded or released, right?
No, Derek Turnbow was. So the year before, he had been a fantastic closer for the Brewers, stepping in. They announced his bobblehead for like June of the following year. He was awful that next year. Came in and blew a save on his bobblehead night, and on a Saturday evening at then Miller Park, now AmFam Field, the fans donated some portions of his bobblehead back.
Did they tear his heads off?
Like you said,
our bobbleheads' heads are falling off?
You said I was calling for the manager's head earlier in the show, which is not true, but understandable. Derek Turnbow's head was not called for, but it was given.
He had all that great hair, too.
Whoa, Nelly! Last thing, I don't know if there's anything IPT about this. So on Friday night, I met Becca and her friends out. We were at a local establishment in Sun Prairie, and we were sitting outside. And it was nice, like the music's playing, beautiful evening, having dinner, fish fry, Coors Lights in hand. And the Brewers game had started, and they had the NHL draft on the television, but I wanted to see the Brewers game. So I asked the waitress if they would put on the Brewers game. And she not only put on the Brewers game on the televisions, but also changed the audio outside to go from kind of light background music to a little more in-your-face Brian Anderson and Vinny Rotino on the call, which I appreciated. But I'm not sure all the other patrons. It wasn't necessarily a sports bar that we were at. It was just an establishment for a Friday evening dinner. And I don't know if everybody else appreciated that. I didn't say anything to the waitress about like changing the audio back, but I wanted to. Would it have been IPT, or was there anything IPT about the entire situation?
Hey, you do you, man. You do you. Yeah, it would have been incredibly IPT, but it would have been really funny.
To call her over and say, hey, by the way, I appreciate you putting the Brewers game on, but can you actually, I don't want to hear it. Can you put the light background back on? Everyone was having a better vibe that way.
I gotta say, Jesse, this is a pretty good Jesse story right here.
Yeah, you had a nice Wonelli today. This is one of your better Wonellis. I think Bradshaw is rubbing off on you. That great presentation Bradshaw put out last night. You decided, hey, Bradshaw could do this. I'm going to do this.
You got
so
a
what I
joke
would
to
like,
close it up?
What was my best joke, Tausch?
Exactly. No, I don't think you had a joke. I was just going to say, if Jason didn't step on top of me, I was going to say this would be a nice ad for you to have a stand-up joke on every one of your Wonellies.
I'm not going to do that.
I know you won't.
I did want to ask you, when you're tailgating a game, parking lot, backyard, or establishment, what's your preferred choice? We did a backyard tailgate, and we still had to drive like 20 minutes to get in. I wasn't a big fan of it.
That's not tailgating. That's like visiting some's house.
Yeah, but we're tailgating at John's house, and then we're going to go in.
Oh, how far does John live from AmFam Field?
I don't know, a couple miles, but with the traffic, it was, 15 minutes or so to get in and park.
Isn't it called tailgating? Because you're behind your car. It's the tailgate, the lights.
Your car has to be parked, and you walk to the stadium from where you could tailgate a mile away, but you cannot restart your car, load up, and go to the stadium.
Drive it somewhere.
Tailgating.
Exactly. You did not tailgate at someone's house.
No, that wasn't tailgating.
You would have been better off with a Terry Bradshaw joke to close. Now you've kind of besmirched an otherwise really good Wonelli.
Then what did we do? Just went to a house party?
Yes. At John's house.
Okay.
And then drove to the game together.
So a pregame house party is different than a tailgate.
Yeah. There you go. You pregamed.
All right. Noted.
Okay. We got the postgame coming up next because we're going to wrap up the show momentarily. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is our crew.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day on July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Carbless, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Fifth Third Bank, Cider Heating, Plumbing and Electrical, Gruber Law Offices, Welke's Milwaukee Florist, and Jet Out. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 5.5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Crystal Farm shredded or chunk cheese, 2 for $5. 9 to 16 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or crunch chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 10 to 10.8 ounce selected varieties Bird's Eye frozen vegetables, 4 for $5. 18 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates or bowls, 2 for $5.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Time to stock up for your 4th of July picnics, parties, and celebrations. Do you need a cold half barrel? Maybe a great bottle of wine? Or hard to find liquor? We have everything you need at the lowest prices in town. It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. When you buy any one 12-pack of Blue Moon or Blue Moon Light, or any one 12-pack of Arnold Palmer Spiked Hard Tea, you'll receive a free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store in Milwaukee again. Have a safe and fun 4th of July weekend. And don't forget your free Summerfest ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Before we go, after what I thought was a really enjoyable program today.
Yeah, fun little show today.
We close with a text message to the carbless talking text line.
We might have figured it out. Robin Waukesha, how about you get a ticket for the bobble or the giveaway when you enter the stadium and then redeem when leaving? That way, if you do want to leave early after the fifth inning or whatever, they'll start giving out the bobbleheads or the giveaways as you're leaving, and you just redeem your ticket. Very easy to get it as you go in. Put it in your pocket. You're good to go. I like this idea. You can still leave whenever you want.
Can you ask people and say, I have children and they didn't get a coupon for the bobblehead?
What if Jesse misread this situation and this dude just found a way to get tickets and has 7 kids and they all love the Brewers and think Pat Murphy's awesome, and he wanted to get some extra bobbleheads, and Jesse just thinks that he's a collector trying to scam him?
It was possible for a minute until I looked around the stadium and saw all the other kids that were walking around with bobbleheads because they weren't not giving them to kids.
It was a lie.
It was an all-fan giveaway. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 90.
It wasn't a Coors Light bobblehead.
Oh, they wouldn't give it to my kid. You didn't even have kids, bro.
All right, we'll see how Jesse is scammed next tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Campus of the worldwide headquarters of ESPN. And from Studio Q in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
There is a notion out there. Yeah. Some people like to enjoy a movie a little bit louder than other people.
Yeah. What you're saying is the brother's like, hey, man, you know you messed up, man. Now someone's got your gun, man. What you gonna do now, man? You ain't got your gun, dog. No, you messed up.
That's precisely what I was alluding to. Q was doing that when he saw Wicked with his wife. He's like, she got your broom, bro. She got your broom.
This is Joe and Q.
Oh, yeah. Your boy likes to yell at the movies. Loves to yell at the screen when I'm watching a movie. I wasn't yelling at the movie when I was watching Prestige, but make sure you stay tuned for today's Monday movie review of The Prestige. That'll be at 2:45 Eastern Time today here on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio, on the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, and also on your smart speaker. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. My guy, Jonathan Zaslow, he's in for Joe Fortenbaugh. He's been known to yell at the movie theater a little bit, to yell at the TV screen a little bit, a little something, get a little loud in the barbershop. That's what Zaslow's been known to do, as he's big time there in the barbershop. I know another guy who's big time. That's our guy, Max Starks, two-time Super Bowl champ, offensive lineman, current Steelers sideline reporter as well. And he joins us now here on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And Max, thanks so much for your time. Definitely appreciate you. And I've told you in the past, man, that my dad is a big Steeler fan. He's been seeing all the moves that have gone on this offseason and said, this is not what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. You played for the organization. You won Super Bowls. You were there for over a decade. You're still there. How would you describe this offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I will just